This is the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.
You're inside Jamaica Magazine.
Encouraging the information flow, sharing the news and views you need to know.
We are building an informed Jamaica every day.
Listening to what you say.
Life's challenges have not waned, and the will to survive has intensified in the new year. Hi there, I'm Samantha Allen. You're inside the covers of Jamaica Magazine. As the pages are turned, pointers on surviving the tamarind season, identifying and treating cerebral palsy, and of course, issues and answers with host Ian Boyd. Stay tuned.
When I look in the mirror, sadness looks back at me. Will my life go carelessly?
But even with the sadness and fear, the word of peace I will share. I choose peace.
I choose to live violence free.
The holidays have passed and you are now caught in a financial bind. Payday seems far away, but the expenses are spilling over. If that sounds like your life right now, heads up, we've got some guidelines on surviving a financial rut next. You just couldn't resist attending that party, or indulging in some delectable food, or purchasing that piece of clothing. No, only jingles are left in your pockets, and the regular monthly expenses are coming in hard and fast. With payday still some distance away, navigating the financial pothole, what we call the tamarind season, will require a just-do-it attitude. Here are some strategies and pointers to follow. In order to know where you are heading, you must first understand your history. So, step 1, assess your financial status. That is, calculate what you have spent, current bills, remaining money, and short to medium term expenses. Then, set a target. You may not be in a good place at the moment, but where do you want to get to? Be realistic, such as, with the next paycheck, I want to pay off my utility bills. Next, save on living expenses. Cut back on taxi rides, trips to the ice cream shop, reduce leisure spending during this period. Be creative in curbing expenses. Check your surroundings for ways of savings. Send an email instead of making a telephone call. Pick a fruit from your garden tree for lunch. Most importantly, in limiting your expenses, ensure that your identification is secure. Identity theft and ID fraud is alive in Jamaica. And do not borrow to break debt. In surviving the financial woes, you really need to take bold steps. Just do it. Save, spend wisely, and reduce the borrowing. During pregnancy and even at birth, parents are often unaware of an illness that may affect their child. Among the many afflictions that may stunt growth is cerebral palsy. In our next feature, we provide the tips on caring for a loved one with this illness. Expecting a new baby is always a special feeling for any woman or man. Following the good news comes the planning for new clothes, cribs, and other supplies, and of course, thinking about the fun that the parent or parents will have when the child is born, and what he or she will be like growing up. While many go as far into the future as the likely career path of their unborn child, few ever think of having a child with cerebral palsy. Well, this was the reality that Jacqueline Langley, Nayoka Miller, and Gloris Walker faced after the birth of their children. Like most expectant mothers, they gave little or no thought to the possibility of raising a child with a disability.
He was born breech, and when I was leaving the hospital, they told me that he would have a delay. And after that, I do some follow-up on carrying him to get special treatment. And during those processes, they told me that he had this condition.
She's a premature. She born 27 weeks. She was in the nursery for 3 months. So during the time she was getting older and older, they tell me at the nursery that it would be a possibility that she would have something along the way.
I became suspicious that Josh was not developing normally in terms of his milestone. At about age 4 months, I got a little bit concerned, and so when I went to my pediatrician, I explained my concerns along with some other symptoms that he was displaying, and she referred me to the neurologist, Dr. Melbourne Chambers, who confirmed the diagnosis of cerebral palsy.
These women, along with their loved ones, have a difficult road ahead of them, but it is one they are not left to journey alone. The government's Early Stimulation Program under the Ministry of Labour and Social Security is an intervention program for children with developmental challenges aged 0 to 6 years old. This program offers a wide range of services to children with disabilities. It has helped several children with developmental and growth problems.
Walking. Yes. Look, we're going here, and then we're going outside.
Nayoka Miller says her daughter has been on the program for over 2 years and she is responding well to treatment.
I've seen a whole heap of improvement since then because yes, she was tipping, but actually now her joints is actually loose. They are no longer tight like before. So yes, I've seen improvement. She stands more now. She hold on and walk around and things more now. So yes, there have been a whole heap of improvement.
Cerebral palsy refers to any one of a number of neurological disorders that appear in infancy or early childhood and that permanently affects body movement and muscle coordination, but it does not worsen over time.
A lot of times the knees, you're not able to bring...
Consultant physiatrist Dr. Paula Dawson says the majority of children with cerebral palsy are born with the disease, although it may not be detected until months or years later.
Usually children that are born underweight, like if you're less than 2,400 grams, premature births, low birth weight, as well as premature infants are usually prone to this. Some kids also who are born with jaundice may be predisposed to it. But essentially it is whenever the brain is immature, when it is most susceptible to whatever it is. Some infections can cause it as well. Some toxins can cause it as well.
Early signs usually appear before a child reaches 3 years of age. The symptoms are many, but the most common is what is called spasticity.
And what spasticity is really just stiffness that the kids may have when they try to move. A lot of times the parents will notice when the child is sleeping, the muscles are totally relaxed. However, especially when they're excited or when they go to start running around or crying, they get very stiff. And that's spasticity. But with spasticity, the stiffness is a hindrance for their ambulation or them getting around.
Other signs and symptoms of cerebral palsy may include achieving developmental milestones such as crawling, walking, or speaking later than peers, crawling in an unusual way, difficulty feeding and sucking, lying down in awkward positions, easily startled, favors one side of the body over the other, has bad coordination and balance, muscles are stiff and contract abnormally, hearing problems, problems with eyesight, bladder control problems, bowel movement control issues, seizures, and problems swallowing. When you see any of the signs and symptoms of cerebral palsy in your child, you must see a doctor immediately. According to Dr. Dawson, cerebral palsy cannot be cured, but treatment will often improve a child's capabilities. She says many children go on to enjoy